Welcome to TheoTrade. Don Kaufman here, May 6th, 2026. An hour to go to the cash close here on this Wednesday afternoon. S&Ps, they are a-running. SPUs right now are up a staggering 100 handles. All right, they're not quite there yet, but they're going to be. So with the S&Ps up 100, you would expect everything across the board to be, bullish. It's not. It's a very selective bullish marketplace today. Although I'm going to come to the SPX here in just a moment because we're basically riding the upper edge of the SPX expected move, right? What we were expecting us to move this week. But before I even get here, I want to start with the advanced decline line, which has been rather craptastic throughout the course of the day. There's still heavy rotations going on in this marketplace. Now, it's easy to point a finger and say, it's just the energy complex, right? It's your ExxonMobil, your Chevrons, your ConocoPhillips, some sell-side activity in there because, of course, we're pricing in peace for the 35th or 36th time just this week. A little sarcasm in that one because it really does feel like every single day we've priced in peace and continue to go higher on that. Nevertheless, oil getting smashed, but oil is still way off the overnight lows. I couldn't believe when I woke up this morning that thing was trading, in the 88 handle. I think I woke up exactly at the time it was hitting its lows. Quite a shocking move, but it's got a little bit of a bid back to it. But oil at $95 a barrel, I wouldn't look at as, again, a huge positive. Yes, it's a lot better than being at 102, 103, or even 110, right? But it's still $95 a barrel inside of oil. But this blistering move, okay, the drive behind it, it's just big tech, okay? The financials, I would love to say, the financials are really ripping with it. The financials are well below, up about 0.6%. They're a drag right now in the S&Ps, which are ripping by 1.3%. And, every day like this, these mega market caps, okay, are gaining, if you will, even more power inside of the S&P 500 because they're gaining market cap and everything else is either staying flat or going down. As I was saying, highly selective today to what is really rallying. Now, you could say, all right, the XLU, okay, it's taken a little bit of a hit, and I get it. It's not that other things are taking a hit. They're just dragging behind. Okay, consumer staples, kind of a drag on the marketplace. Obviously, healthcare is massively unchanged today. The regional bank ETFs holding its own, but there's not a lot of bright spots to point out. Okay, so what do? Well, you ride tech. And this is exactly what we have been doing, is riding gamma squeezes. Oh, it's kind of ironic because I caught a big bullish gamma squeeze in Broadcom yesterday. That one's actually reversed a little bit today. But the story, okay, today, it's not even so much about, the magnificent, or are they even magnificent anymore? I don't think we're using that terminology anymore. But it's not even about, just the usual suspects. You got to get a little bit off the beaten path and start to look at, AMD, which has exploded, just absolutely exploded to the upside off of earnings. It's not all that often I say something on earnings like that, but AMD is beyond 2 times its expected move, okay, and absolutely ripping. Here's some of the interesting points, though, to be taken from today. As markets are moving higher, stocks like AMD had its earnings. What do you typically see? So as a trader, let's not worry about the investor right now, but as a trader, what do you typically see happen right after an earnings announcement? And the first thing that I always think of is, all right, so the stock, resolves a little higher or lower after earnings, but As an options trader, what do I look for? Implied volatility, okay? And when we're looking at implied volatility, I like to look like some 30 days out, get a quick feel. And normally you see these just magnificent implied volatility crushes. Well, go take a look back at the chart with me, okay? We're going to go over to studies. We're going to go to add study. We're going to go to volatility studies, and we're going to cruise up to none other than what? Implied volatility. And I thought that everybody might find this one a little bit interesting. The implied volatility, yeah, it went down a little bit today, not much, okay? There's no vol crush per se. Volume in here is absolutely huge. Yes, the volatility has come down, but we are talking minimally, right? Volatility was about 72, okay? Now it's trading basically 68. So much for the idea of a volatility crush. And moreover, there are a number, okay, of products that are now trading. And this is, for me, the big key takeaway, okay, from this evening's video. We are looking at, okay, huge underlyings with inverted implied volatility skews. And I'm going to explain exactly what that means and why it's such a wild thing to kind of wrap your arms around. So when you look at kind of shorter duration options in here, what we're talking about, and I'm going to freeze the screen for a second. If we look at implied volatility, the at the money calls are trading for about a 69 vol here in AMD. The out of the money calls, and again, we're just 9 days out, the out of the money calls are trading for closer to like a 70, 71. It's a very, very mild, if you will, inversion in implied volatility. And the puts are basically trading about the same. This one's actually closer to a flat vol skew. But the reason that is so wild is it's just had earnings. That does not look like a stock that just, came through earnings, trading 1.2 million, again, staggering number, 1.2 million option contracts in AMD. AMD is usually good for, as of late, it might do 100, maybe 200,000, but some huge size in here. The other day, actually, I saw it up to 400,000 to 500,000. In fact, this last week, it's been about 400,000 to 500,000, but clear over a million is absolutely huge order flow. AMD, though, okay, although a bit of a standout because the IV is not crushing, the biggest standout unequivocally has got to be Intel. Intel, the volatility is peaking as the stock is actually going up. Now, that's not completely and totally like crazy, but it is crazy when you start to look at a 15-year chart. By the way, I'm going to go to a 15-year chart. Bear with me here for a second. Under equity, I'm going to get rid of the volume because I want to give you a clear and distinct view, okay, of implied volatility. Intel has had a fairly dead, okay, implied volatility life. And what is so unique about this, okay, look at the implied volatility skyrocketing right when what? Okay, right when Intel was effectively at its lows, okay? As Intel started to pick up a little steam over here, this is another earnings announcement. So this is like earnings, okay? What are we looking at here? Yes, it did have earnings, but the stock has been straight up. You have to recognize that you're seeing, okay, one of the highest implied volatilities on record. And again, I'm in a 15-year chart right now. This is one of the highest implied volatilities on record, okay, bar none. And I'll come back to like a 5-year chart, and I'll even pull it back now into a 3-year just to give you a feel for how significant. I mean, you're at a point in time over here where this is a company that was in distress trading like 17, okay? Its implied volatility went through the roof, and now we're basically seeing the same thing on the opposing side of it, okay? That's impressive. Even more impressive, okay, is how substantial the implied volatility is in terms of an inversion in here. So an inverted implied volatility skew. And now I'm really going to explain why it's so important. At the money options here, we're 9 days out. At the money options are trading for like an 89 vol. As you go out of the money, okay, they go up in implied volatility. And what this is a sign of, okay, and I'm going to open up the full option chain. Screw it. Let's just go for it. What this is a sign of, okay, demand is so extreme in Intel right now to buy calls, okay, that it's actually flipping the skew over. Now, is that a sign of like some capitulation? Not exactly, okay? But eventually you can hit a wall where the implied volatility inverts, and all of a sudden, you know, those out of the money calls, they're so freaking expensive. Nobody wants to buy them. I mean, look like 43 days out, okay? Just look with me, 43 days out, okay? And we're gonna scroll way out of the money here. And I want you to see the 160s, the 160 calls are trading for 245, 260, okay? You go even like 72 days out. Let's get crazy, okay? Look how high the implied volatility is in here. The 165 calls, which is as far as we actually go in terms of strikes. We run out of strikes after that, right? It's 85% implied volatility. Everywhere you look in this option chain is all kinds of chaos. And eventually, okay, no one's going to go out and like, oh yeah, I really want to buy some 85 vol calls. And that can actually cause the stock to eventually turn and implode. We're going to be keeping our eyes on it in the next couple of days because, as I said to begin with, this is a very highly selective, okay, bullish marketplace. Intel, AMD, okay, Micron. Micron's another great example as you start to kind of scroll through Micron. And again, I put up every strike in here. We're 9 days out. The implied volatility in here is absolutely disgusting how inverted it happens to be. And you know, the irony of this is, you know, most people are like, oh, I don't even care. Well, why should I care? Okay, because the demand of those calls, okay, is going to get outstripped by pricing going up. Eventually, you know, they'll price the calls high enough that you simply can't make any money on it, okay? So retail stops buying calls and the stock actually turns and implodes. We're really close to it. Keep an eye on it in the next couple of days. It's one of the most important things that I can show you, okay, and give you a feel for, because these are the products that are predominantly driving, okay, SMH. And there's also, for those of you that are really complex and like dispersion trades and so forth, there's some great trades to be taken because SMH does not necessarily have an inverted implied volatility skew. Although we'll say this, it's pretty wild to look at SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF. Its vol skew is still relatively flat for any ETF, if you will. So by the way, there it is. Now the S&Ps are up. That perfect 100 handles. Okay, it feels like a kind of perpetual motion, if you will, to the upside. But lo and behold, most of today's trading session, was right where we should be. Like, I don't want to give anybody the idea like, oh, this is an unprecedented move. Right now, we are moving outside of what's expected. Okay, we are effectively right now 20 points outside of what's expected with, again, 45 minutes to go. I would suggest to you that this 73.40 is critically important as the week actually progresses. There's some more earnings coming out tonight. Nothing though crazy. I mean, look, this is a tape where, you know, as I said, pieces being priced in for the 35th time. This doesn't really have that much to do with it. Yes, you know, oil got crushed. Okay, but this is all tech all the time. And it's when I say it's so highly selective, even some of your tech stocks like Microsoft, dramatically underperforming. And the NASDAQ is up almost 2%. Obviously, Broadcom underperforming, Meta underperforming today, Amazon underperforming today, okay? Even Apple underperforming today of what the NASDAQ is doing. So it's, you know, you're down to 2 or 3 stocks that are the real primary drivers behind this marketplace, and other sectors and so forth, and the advanced decline line and market breadth sucks, and it continues to be that way. So we're going to watch these inverted implied volatility skews very carefully. It's something I'm actually, you know, presenting a couple of trades in as well. As I said, also the financials lagging behind the marketplace, okay, flat and listlessly dragging over here. But look, on an intraday basis, the last thing I'll give you here, on an intraday basis, go with what works. Okay, if we're going to continue to squeeze, hop on the squeeze. Okay, don't do anything crazy though in those underlyings like the AMD or the Micron or the Intel. Spread your risk, people. Keep intact, keep the volatility risk under control, because again, this marketplace is incredibly heated. You know, last thought over here, volatility actually coming up very mildly with the marketplace up 100 handles. You would think the VIX may actually collapse down. It's not going to. Volatility futures also, okay, up and rather flat on the trading session, but I'm not seeing any real hedging activity going on inside of VVIX. Well, that's it for tonight. Again, the S&P's up 100 handles, okay? Fever pitch, though, in this marketplace. Incredibly selective, bullish marketplace. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here at TheoTrade. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.